Radio Rahim here in London, and you know it's a big fight if I've got Johnny Nelson to my left. The man, he hasn't even bothered to take off his coat because it's so cold in here.
Cold, it's cold. You know, we don't do cold too easy, man. And I'm a coward when it comes to the cold, so no, that's not me.
Yo, both of these fighters are ice cold as well. They, when you see them next to each other, I'm worried about the face-off a little bit. It's just icy cold. You've been at the table with them. Talk to me about the atmosphere between the two fighters, the difference between the first time and this time.
So, the difference between the first time and this time is both fighters know what to expect. Both fighters are very, very similar. And when you tell them both that, they both act exactly the same way. Both fighters wear their heart on their sleeve. Both fighters have improved massively. But you've got to look at the last 2 years of both fighters. I think Derek's has been harder than Dylan, so that means he's more shot-worn. Dylan has aspirations to go on to fight for bigger and better things. Derek is the only fighter I know that hasn't shouted, heavyweight fighter that I know that hasn't shouted out Anthony Joshua. So that tells me, when Derek fights, if he fancies it, if he wants to fight, you got problems. We saw him box for the European title. He boxed under par, and we thought, Derek, you could have easily won that. With this fight here, this is personal. This is something that he really wants. And so I think he's trained really hard. He really fancies the fight, and I think it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a lot tougher than the first one.
What about the energy between the two of them? Is it, you think, more respect between them because they face each other now, or has the rivalry deepened?
The rivalry's deepened. The respect is there. They'll never show it. They'll never tell each other that. The respect is there. They understand how tough this fight is going to be. I think this fight is going to be a lot tighter than the first one. If it goes the distance, Dylan's won. If it doesn't go the distance, Derek's won. Derek understands Dylan's a better technical fighter, excellent jab, good box fighter. Whereas Derek, if he has that desire to get in your face, it's like trying to stop a truck. He looked in brilliant condition when he came and did the gloves are off, and they sat down. I looked at this guy and thought, wow, I'm a weak side, man. You look on point. He's training with David Haye. David Haye, don't get gassed and think David Haye has all of a sudden turned him into a technician. What David Haye has conditioned him and shown him that the ways to get fit, get strong, have a bigger engine. That's all he's done. Don Charles is still the main man in the corner when it comes to tactics. And that's why this stuff, if Derek wants it, it'll be a completely different result. It's about desire for both fighters. And about aspirations. I rate Dylan Whyte because Dylan didn't have to take this fight. He didn't have to take the fight against Josie Parker. He didn't have to take the fight against Lucas Brown. He's a guy, he reminds me of Joe Frazier. He just wants to fight. That's it. And when you've got somebody like that, it ain't about money. It ain't about titles. It means you've got a nutcase in front of you that says, I want to fight. Let's have this. And I rate that about the both of them.
Well, thank God the heavyweight division is back and exciting again. There's a fight that we haven't had a chance to talk about, but we talked about it a great deal before. Obviously, we're talking Wilder, Fury, and you want to talk about desire. I don't know what the hell got Fury up off of that canvas, but it was desire to fight on. I thought he went on and won the round. Who do you think won the fight ultimately?
I personally think Tyson Fury won the fight. I believe Deontay Wilder knows Tyson Fury won the fight. But you've got to give Deontay Wilder credit. For a man at 15 stone to knock out a big unit like Tyson Fury in the last round and the last round before that, it shows a power. It shows he's one of the heaviest, hardest hitting heavyweights out there, Deontay Wilder, for the size and weight he is. I think he was outboxed. I think Tyson's style doesn't look beautiful, it doesn't flow in, but it's the old saying, hit and not be hit. And that's what he did. Deontay Wilder is not going to turn into a beautiful technician, a technical fighter since that fight to the next fight. So if they fight again, now Tyson Fury knows what he's capable of doing. I believe he'll beat him more convincingly. I think with Deontay Wilder, if you get involved in the fight with that guy, he will take you out. And that's why he's unbeaten.
Do either one of them change in your mind as to their ability to best Joshua? Have they improved their odds on that?
Yeah, it showed me that Tyson Fury is not the biggest puncher out of the three of them, but he's a better technician, better technical boxer out of the three of them. It showed me that Deontay Wilder is a big puncher. And maybe one of the biggest punches to do what he did at 15 stone.
You think Wilder's a bigger puncher than Joshua and Tyson's a better technician than Joshua?
I think, yeah, I do. But Joshua has the whole package. Joshua can knock you out with a jab. Either hand. He can, and his jab is unbelievable. He's got that instinct, that fire, that bubble. He's got the package. It's like cooking a cake. If you don't put all the ingredients in, it might look like a sweet cake, but it don't taste like a sweet cake. and Anthony Joshua is a guy that he's the whole package. Tyson Fury's got a part of the cake. Deontay Wilder's got a part of it, but Anthony Joshua's got all of it.
Well,
and that's why that fight, to me, I think those boys are just on it.
If it was a rivalry before, it's a grudge match now. I think the guys, like you say, respect each other. But in this rematch, they've both got something to prove. They both felt they won the fight. We're blessed to have some grudge matches that we get to see again, like this one. We'll get to see that one, I think, Fury and Wilder one more time before somebody sees Joshua. But one we've been waiting on forever, and I don't know if we're ever going to get to see it the way these guys are behaving, is Kell Brook and Amir Khan. And now, because they haven't fought, I think, the words have turned real nasty. It's gotten a little bit beyond the pale. You know what do you make of Amir Khan's comments about Kell Brook's sexuality?
I think it was low. I think Amir Khan, as a fighter, respect him. I think to do what you did, to do how he's doing it, true or false, to say things like that, I just think you are low. This man's got a woman, he's got 3 kids, and you're following what keyboard warriors and following what they're saying. I'm thinking, you know what? I've lost your respect for that. You just don't do it. We do everything in our fight game to get under our opponent's skin. That to me, nah. That's just, I just thought a man shouldn't do them kind of things there, you know. And how he's trying to cast a shadow over that side of it. Kell's personal life is Kell's personal life. Kell didn't lose a wink of sleep over the comments that Amir Khan made. Because he said, if this fool wants to follow what they say on social media, he's a fool. But for Amir Khan saying that, what was the whole point? Because he don't want to fight him. He's never going to fight him. So what was the point? I don't get it. And I thought all you've done is you made people look at you and think, you know what, I'm losing respect for you. And for that, I like Amir Khan's style, and I always thought Amir Khan and Kell, it was never a done deal, but he's lost a lot of respect as far as I'm concerned.
You know, it raised a bigger question, because you asked, like, well, what's the purpose of it? I think, to be honest, us in boxing, we know the purpose of it. You call a guy homosexual, especially in this kind of environment, but it suggests the guy is weak. That's a wrong thing that's a wrong thing for it to mean, but you know that's what he's trying to do. You know, he's trying to emasculate the guy.
If I was gay, everybody would know it. And what? And what? Let's get in the ring and sort it out. It don't mean diddly. But I don't understand what is the whole point of it.
It's emasculate the guy. So my question, a broader question, beyond whether Kell is and I have no reason to think he is. I don't even know what this guy's talking about. But let's say that there was a homosexual boxer. Do you think that the boxing community is ready to have a fighter, like you say, openly gay, that could compete without being harassed and abused?
Listen, there's fighters that have been openly gay. I don't know if...
Wasn't that open? I never seen it.
Well, I don't know if I know, nobody else knows, but the point is, I just think, why would it be? Yes, the boxing community, can they take it? Can they accept it? They're going to have to learn to accept it, because that's the world we live in now. That's the world we live in, and so you've got to think to yourself, you know, educate yourself, get out of the Stone Age. You know, we're better than that. We're people. You know, that's just foolishness. And I like how Kell's dealt with it. I think Kell just ignored it, say fool. You know, he's not insulted by it. He's thinking, say what you want. If I was Kell, I'd see a man slap him in his face and say, don't, what are you doing? But you know what? I think he's handled it pretty cool. And Lennox Lewis used to get accused of it. Lennox Lewis, how Lennox dealt with it was very cool.
Yeah.
And anyone knows Lennox knows he ain't gay.
But nobody wants to admit it. But you made me rack my brain when you said I remember one guy fought Orlando Salido in America. Yeah. I think it was Puerto Rican.
I remember.
Yeah, but they gave him the business.
Yeah, but you know what? What happens is, when a fighter, regardless, as long as he's pulling the results in, as long as he's getting a win, all of a sudden public opinion is going to turn around, and people are very fickle. Say, for instance, when Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko years ago, he was a hero, then he was a villain, everybody hated him. All of a sudden this guy's a hero again, everybody's forgotten, everybody's like so fickle in regards to the things Tyson Fury said and did around the time of beating that. It's human nature. What I'm saying is, these accusations, these insinuations from Amir, making out as though he's all concerned and say, oh, Kell's got... I'm thinking, you know what? Everybody's seen clearly through that. It was low. It was dirty. You just think, as a man, you should know better. As a human being, you should know better. I think, if you don't want to fight him, don't fight him. Don't come out with foolishness to try and, like, mash up the man's character.
Fair play. Listen, Sky Sports is pulling you away, so I'll let you do the second most important interview that you have to do today.
Yeah, right. Sky Sports.
Yeah, man.
Who's Sky Sports?
Right, exactly.
I got to do my job.
Radio Rahim with Johnny Nelson. Always bringing the facts, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll see him again. Radio Rahim. Bring it in. We got to get a thumbnail here. Radio Rahim with Johnny Nelson. There it is. Now they're going to start putting these in the comments about us. It's like, Amir Khan's watching. You can't be doing that.
And what? Yes, my answer. And what?